Hey guys, welcome to the first video on this new channel, and today we are going to be building more painting a giant beetle for D&D or any other tabletop games. First we had to take the tag off, which was quite the struggle. And then the next step was taking off the text, the raised text, because it would get in the way of the textures later on. And for this I just used a regular crafting knife just to kind of gently chip away. And make sure that when you're doing this to be careful. There was a point in time where I almost cut myself, and that was not fun. I then had to figure out a way to fill in the little hole that the tag was attached to, and so for this I tried the super glue and baking soda method. For this I just used normal super glue and normal baking soda. That you probably have both of these things already in your home, so it's perfect. And I just used a little dab of super glue and just spread around the baking soda, and it instantly hardens into this plasticky sort of material. And this ended up working really, really well. It was nice and hard. It ended up just working really nicely, and I'm going to say this a lot throughout the video, but I definitely recommend this method. It's great. And I could not find the sandpaper that I have for the life of me, so literally what I just ended up doing was using a nail filer that was on a nail clipper. And this just kind of goes to show that you can just use what you have on hand to make cool things. And as you can see, this is how it turned out. Next, you want to wash it in soapy water. This is just going to give the primer a little more of a smooth surface to stick to. And as for the primer that I just used some white Rust-Oleum primer. And for whatever reason, the cap of the primer would not come off until this happened. So this is what happened. This wasn't coming off. It was stuck in place. And this broke off. I'm not sure if it was already broken. I think I might have broken it, but the cap was screwed on, so I wasn't. Yeah, and then primer kind of leaked everywhere. That's a good reason to take care of your tools. Make sure that everything's working nicely before you try to use them, otherwise, yeah, you know. Luckily, I had another can of the same exact primer, and that one did open a lot easier. And now we just wait for it to dry. It's a little wet from the rain, but that's fine. Just try this off. The primer is mostly dry. And look at that. It looks really good, and you can actually barely even tell that the little knot is right there too, so that's perfect. So for the first time doing the baking soda and super glue method, definitely recommend. It works so well, and it's so easy, it's so simple, and it's stuff that if you don't already have, then you probably should have. This is like very off topic, but it's definitely a good thing, and I might actually make a video on like technique for doing this, like specifically. So now I'm just wondering how I want to paint this. I don't really remember what it looked like, if I'm being honest. So I'm kind of doing this from scratch. So how do I want to do this? I think... Alright, so first off, I'm going to start with my base coat. Open it up. And this base coat is really simple. It's just regular Mod Podge and black craft paint. It's nothing crazy. And this is the kind of thing where there's no real specific amount at all. It's not, you don't have to get this down to a science. For my Mod Podge and black paint base coat, I put a thick coat for the top and the bottom, and later on off camera I did a second coat because I feel like with the first coat I wasn't filling in all the cracks and crevices that I thought I was, and it's just good to get like good coverage for a piece like this. I then went on the internet and looked up rhino beetles just to kind of see what I could find for inspiration for how I wanted to paint this, and then I found something called Xylotrope Socrates. And now that I had some inspiration for how I wanted to paint this thing, it was time to finally get into it. I kind of just grabbed all the colors because I wasn't sure if I wanted to give this a more magical look or a more normal beetle look. But what I started with was this golden brownish color with red undertones for the belly. Basically the entire underside beside the legs. I then got a darker brown for the top as well as the legs. This dark brown ended up covering most of the piece besides the golden brown with red undertones. I then moved on to the dry brushing step, and the colors that I used for this were a light brown and this tan color. I then painted out the eyes with a dirty bronze color. I also dry brushed the bottom belly with this slightly darker light brown. I also dry brushed a little bit of light gray just to kind of give it a little more variety. And when I was getting into thinking of how I can have more variety with the colors, I thought of doing little splotches of this grassy green, and it worked out really well in the final piece. When painting a piece like this, it's always important to try to take some risks, and you never really know what can happen and what will work and what won't until you try. There is another step that I normally do before I would call this piece finished, which is my black wash, which I forgot to do in this video, but I will definitely 100% go over it in another video. But until then, I think we have a finished piece. guys, as the first video that I filmed on this channel, I definitely think that this little this little guy is gonna find a lot of usage on my table. And also, I had plenty of other ideas of what I could do with this guy. One of the spells that my players use a lot is giant insect, so I figured this would be a good thing to have, because I have giant spider, I have a giant grasshopper somewhere, and now I have a giant beetle, which it's always interesting to have giant bugs on your table. And who knows, maybe if my players grow out of using giant insect, I don't know, figure out something else to do. I can make this like a little plaque to go on the wall, like a little thing. I could make this a giant, like, Egyptian style puzzle, like tabletop puzzle. This really could be anything. And the painting techniques that I used on this build were very simple. And I guess that's kind of most of what I used. And again, the super glue, I'm sure you guys probably want to see that. It comes out once you dry brush it, but if I was a little more careful around that area, I forgot that it was there. I thought it was on the other side for a long while. So anyway, yeah. If you like this video, make sure to check out some of the others. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.